Hello everyone. Today, me and my group mates will be discussing about how to use Google Sheets, how to make and design tables, how to input functions and equations, and how to input data that are connected with each other. In line with this discussion, we will be using the data that we gathered on the problems in our activity 3.1.
First, for the table 1, titled Mass of the Materials the Loads are Carrying. We began by organizing the table's title, columns, rows, and headings, including their labels. After that, we then proceeded to design the table by merging cells, adding borders, selecting appropriate colors, incorporating various fonts to avoid monotony. The next step was putting all the data in our table, as well as designing and aligning each of them for more a presentable look. We then worked out the formulas or commands to use the dataset. Choosing the right formula was not so hard as our table is not that complicated. The formulas that we use are the following. For the fourth row, A4F4, we use the formula equals B4F4. We use the formula equals B4F4 to get the sum for that load. The same goes for the other rows. Fifth row, load 2 equals B5F5. Sixth row, third load equals B6F6. Seventh row, fourth load equals B7F7. Eighth row, the last load equals B8F8. For the final row, the same formula was used to calculate the total sum of the masses combined, equals B4, B8. After all of that was working, we then proceeded in our table 2.
For table 2, weight force that the loads are applying to the floor. We didn't create another table again. Obviously, we just copied table 1. Again, we started it by changing some labels and formula. We then merged two cells for the mass times gravity and running total columns, making it more spacious and having a more formal look. For the fans, we used the previous ones from table 1 for uniformity. Regarding the formulas, we used the following. For the second column, mass, we connected it to the previous table by adding another command for each cell. For cell B15 equals G4 was the command used, since the first value of mass in table 1 was located in that specific cell. For cell B16 equals G5 was used. That same type of command was then used for the next ones, but just having a different value. For the next column, mass times gravity, we multiplied the values for mass with the value of gravity, which 9.8 meters per second squared. We accomplished that by using the command equals multiply, where the cell that will be multiplied with 9.8 in each of the cells in column 2. For example, equals multiply B16, 9.8. Lastly, the column for running total was a bit different. The reason for this is the value we would get in our last or final running total is the value we would use for our table 3. For understanding, the second cell of that column or the second running total was the sum of the first running total value and the next value of mass times gravity, located in the second column and its value having 362.6. The first cell was just the value of mass times gravity. Nothing changed. The value of the third cell was again the sum of the previous running total value, 705.6, and the third value of mass times gravity, which is 372.4. The formula or command being used was equals sum E16, D16. the final command was used in the final total force, which is equals F19. After that, we then headed for our table 3.
Table 3, the last table, titled Gravitational Energy that the Loads Have. Like we did previously, we copied table 2 in order to create another table. We then changed the labels to distance, total force, 4 times distance, and running total. The only difference in the rows from table 2 and 3 was we used 3 merged cells that consisted of 2 cells. The same set of colors was again used. As regards to the fonts, it was the same as well. The formulas or commands we used for this table were the same for table 2. The second column in each of its cells, ranging from C26 to C30, was just as equal to the cell of final running total, located specifically in cell F20. The values of the third row was the product of the first and second column. For example, in the second cell of the third column, D26 or D27, the command used for it was equals to multiply C26, D26. The final column or the values we got for the running total was just as the same as we did in table 2. Lastly, the command for final total work applied was equals to G30. We then made some final changes in our dataset and finished. That's how we made our table 3.
So that's how we used Google Sheets in our activity 3.1. To conclude this video, I would like to personally encourage every student that are watching to practice using Google Sheets because aside from its cool features, it is very student-friendly and easy to use. So that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed watching our video. Keep safe and God bless us all.